What a match. The Youngbloods and, of course, just tremendous action here on All-Star Wrestling. Talking about action, last week we showed you a match involving the Grapplers and Colonel Buck Robley and Bruiser Brody. There's been a lot of talk about this match. The NWA is reviewing videotapes of the match. The key issue, I think, is the right boot of Grappler number 1. It is an orthopedic boot.
This is true. Now, at one point of the match, you'll see the Grappler adjust or tap this boot down in the corner. Immediately thereafter, he applies it to Colonel Buck Robley. You'll just have to wait and see for yourself. This match between Colonel Buck Robley and Bruiser Brody going against the team of the Masked Grapplers.
This event is one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Introducing from Amarillo, Texas, weighing 237 pounds, Colonel Buck Robley. His partner from Santa Fe, New Mexico, weighing 298 pounds, Bruiser Brody. Their opponents with a combined weight of 460 pounds, the Grapplers.
Many wrestling magazines, periodicals are on hand for the action. This, the first match involving Bruiser Brody and Colonel Buck Robley as tag team partners. And as we mentioned earlier on the program, Brody does not like to tag team normally. He has not participated in numerous tag teams as other wrestlers will. But when he found out that Colonel Buck Robley was available, he said, let's go.
We had a chance to talk to the Grapplers a little bit earlier this hour on All-Star Wrestling. I've had a chance to see them earlier last year when I was in San Antonio, Texas, as the host of wrestling there. These two are probably one of the most unique teams in professional wrestling. They are virtually identical in the ring. If you'll take a look at the Grappler in the corner, which for the sake of argument we'll call the Grappler number 2, and the man in the ring who will call the Grappler number 1. With the exception of the right boot on the man in the ring, they're virtually identical. And that boot in itself tells quite a story.
It is an orthopedic boot. There are those who say that that heel and sole perhaps are loaded. And they have done a lot of damage to a lot of wrestlers around the country. But the boots have been sanctioned by the NWA as Colonel Buck Robley gets into the action. But a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers still question those orthopedic boots worn by Grappler number, what was it, 1 or 2?
Frankly, I'm not sure. It's much the same situation, though, as Colonel Buck Robley's arm brace.
Exactly.
From time to time, there's allegations that it's used as a weapon, but until the NWA sees it, there's really not that much they can do about it. Robley in action now against the said Grappler, and so far, the Grapplers really haven't had much of a chance against the team of Robley and Brody. Testing each other, and Robley, anticipating that boot, caught the foot, turns the Grappler around in a high atomic drop. Wait a minute.
Look out again. Number 2 gets it. And everybody is outside the ring. Grappler number 1, Grappler number 2, take your choice. They're all outside the ring. And right now, Colonel Buck Robley taking a bit of a breather, having a word with his tag team partner, Bruiser Brody.
It's interesting to note, Kevin, how cautious the team of Brody and Robley are. Now, usually here are two guys who will go all out from the opening bell. But you can tell the kind of reputation these Grapplers pack because these men are being very careful when they tie up with each other. All 4 men carry tremendous reputations in this sport.
One of the best All-Star Wrestling fans in all of the Midwest, Dawn Hawes, recovering from a car accident. We wish her a speedy recovery. Always great to see her at the matches. Looking for a tag, and he gets it. And here comes Bruiser Brody. Look at that, those boots.
And when King Kong Brody sets those size 15 boots into your shoulder, guaranteed that arm won't feel the same as it did yesterday. Brody with the long arm bar, with that tremendous height advantage, putting all the leverage and pressure on the upper shoulder and the neck muscles of the Grappler.
Brody listed in the program at 298, but I got to believe he's up around 315. And it's all muscle, folks. There's not an ounce of fat on him.
Back leg trick from Brody. He still keeps that long arm bar. Seconds ago, the Grappler tried to throw Brody off into the ropes, but he just put on the brakes, and that was as far as he was going to go.
Brody being very, very cautious here. It is tough to turn your back on an opponent like this. There's the tag, and here comes Colonel Buck Robley.
A swift right hand and right back to the left arm of the grappler, which seems to be where the team of Brody and Robley are concentrating their attack this far in the match. And you know, next week, we'll have a chance to see two of the most popular wrestlers ever to wrestle in the Midwest. Of course, we're talking about the reigning Central champion Buzz the Avalanche Tartar and his longtime partner and friend Bulldog Bob Brown, off that 6-week injury that unfortunately kept him out of wrestling since from November until just recently.
Well, the Colonel's stunned as he went head first into that ring turnbuckle. Look at that. Those are fists, and now being worn by referee Sonny Myers.
These grapplers are as fast as lightning. They have been together as a tandem for some 5 years. Hard elbow from the grappler that sends Robley to the canvas, a lateral press. A count of 2, Robley powers out, but the grappler right back on his man with that front face lock, a tag.
Holy Toledo, that's a fist. Looking for the body slam. Down goes the Colonel. But he missed. He missed with that right hand.
The grappler dived in. Obviously, he's hurt that right hand. He made a quick tag to his partner, which seems to be the trademark of the grapplers. When you call them a team, they are exactly that. They work together almost, and it's frankly, sometimes it's scary, as one person in the ring.
They're going to double team him, and they do. Down goes the Colonel. Going for the pin. Let's see. The count is 1. The count is 2. And the Colonel kicks out.
Just inches kept Colonel Buck Robley away from defeat. These grapplers, a tremendous amount of strength now with a bear hug on Colonel Buck Robley. And for wrestlers who are in the 230, 240-pound range, it's unusual to see them use the bear hug. But these guys have got such fantastic upper body strength, it's very successful for them.
They are very, very deceptive. They do not have the arms of, say, a Bruiser Brody. But I tell you, they use their leverage. They use their upper body so well. You can tell it. I'm not sure where they're from, but wherever they're from, they've had tremendous training in professional wrestling.
Well, not many people have arms like Bruiser Brody.
Arms like tree trunks.
Referee Sonny Myers closely checking the action now. Buck Robley signaling that no, he wants to continue in this match. The grappler continuing to cinch down on that bear hug. And wait.
Oh! He unloaded.
The grappler, as Robley tried to make it to the corner, dropped down with a drop toe hold after slyly making that tag with his partner. And this is why the grapplers have been so successful over the years. Robley up a high backdrop. The grappler sweeps that far leg again. Only a count of 2 on Colonel Buck.
And you saw maybe in the left-hand side of your screen, Bruiser Brody getting ready to come in and help his partner. Ho-ho!
Robley hangs on and uncorks the right. A boot to the midsection of the grappler, and the Colonel's on fire.
He's looking for the tag, and he gets it. And Bruiser Brody taking a couple of wicked right hands from the grapplers. Now again being double-teamed. Sonny Myers chasing Buck Robley back. Meanwhile, Bruiser Brody.
The tag from the grapplers. Brody into the ropes. Double elbow that staggers Brody on his feet. Another hard right to the corner. And these men are certainly not backing up an inch from King Kong Brody.
Hey, they are not in awe of Bruiser Brody, that's for sure. Now Brody coming back with that boot. That's size 15. Right off the chin of grappler number 2.
Brody sweeps his man up with one arm. Brings him around the ring.
Down he goes. Oh. That might be it. Let's see if he gets the pin. He gets a 1 count, and that's it. But Brody right back on top of grappler number 2. The tag is made, and you can bet there'll be a revenge motive here. And a headbutt as well. Going after the pin.
Count of 1. And these grapplers are tremendous. Oh.
That was a thrust to the throat. Nothing fancy there. Buck Robley gasping for air.
And again, those quick tags from the grapplers, never letting a man stay in the ring too long, in and out of the ring, and they've got Buck Robley in trouble.
He has got to get a tag. The count is 1, the count is 2. And the grappler is grappler number 1, claiming a slow count on the part of Sonny Myers. But it all appeared to be legal from here.
Atomic drop on the Colonel. And
See if that gets it. The count is 2.
And
he came within an eyelash.
just a fraction of an inch, those shoulders came off the mat. But that was enough. That's all that counts. Here's the tag. Double headbutt from the Grapplers.
That is devastating. The count is 1. The count is 2. And again, the Colonel just barely beats the 3 count.
Well, you know, as much as you may disagree with the ring tactics of the Grapplers, and certainly many people do, you've got to admit that they do wrestle, and they are capable wrestlers. They always go for the pin combinations, several pin combinations, and many, although frankly outright brutal tactics, mostly legal.
Grappler number 1 wants a piece of Brody. He's pointing a finger, saying, come on, you want some of it? Let's go. And there he goes again. You see, upper left-hand side of your screen, Grappler number 1. And I want a piece of Brody.
The tag, well, they've got a count of 4 to break. And even though he wasn't trying for the pin, that lateral body press was legal and kept the Colonel immobile. Robley's out. And here comes King Kong Brody.
Hey, Grappler number 1 wanted Brody. He's got all of Brody he can handle.
The second Grappler literally picked in the air by the throat. And King Kong Brody's going to work.
He is unloading. The Grappler. I have never seen Brody this crazy.
A full body slam, and single-handedly, King Kong Brody is taking on both now. Nailed in the corner by Colonel Robley as Brody continues on the second Grappler.
Well, Grappler number 1 punted Bruiser Brody, but Brody does all his talking inside the squared circle. And he's doing a lot of talking right now.
Those arms are coming down like sledgehammers across the back of the Grappler. Both men now tied up collar and elbow along the ropes. Brody. Oh, caught from behind by the second Grappler. Now all 4 men in it. The Grappler and Robley in the ring. And Brody throws the second Grappler over the top.
He is undoubtedly the strongest man in professional wrestling today. And all 4 men in the ring.
Robley now winds his man into the turnbuckle, catching the Grappler with an elbow. Robley
that brace down across the forehead of Grappler.
Wait a minute.
He's got that orthopedic boot in. Oh, he just laid one on Buck Robley.
He caught him hard coming from across the ring.
He used that boot, and look at it. A cut is open on the eye of...
It looks like he caught him right over the eye. His eye is completely open.
He has a chair and is going up into the ring after the Grapplers. He is carrying a folding metal chair that I was just sitting on.
And Robley is severely lacerated. Over that right eye, his face is a mass of blood. Bruiser Brody cleaning house with that steel chair, but Robley is wide open.
We're going to have, I believe, a double disqualification.
I'm not sure. Let's see.
No, they're going to award it to the Grapplers. They're going to disqualify Bruiser Brody and Colonel Buck Robley.
Referee Sonny Myers has ruled for the use of the chair. The team of Brody and Robley are disqualified. And your winners in their first appearance are the Grapplers.
What a match. What a finish. And Colonel Buck Robley, his face just a mass of blood up in the ring. We will continue with more on All-Star Wrestling, but first, this brief intermission.